Who exactly is he?
He's a former grad, and he owns 406 clothing.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Yeah. Dr. Ream wasn't sure who he was, so. I know he's got a brother graduating, that's all I know.
Testing.
He owns 406 clothing. Oh, does he really? Yeah.
Can I go ahead and have him come up?
He's doing pretty good. He's doing all right.
Hey, good morning. If our singers are here, if you want to come up and you can practice.
All right, good to see you, man. Thanks for being here.
Sound check.
Dixon. I am a Geordie boy. Glass of wine with you, sir, and the ladies I'll enjoy. Old Durham and Northumberland is measured up by my own hand. It was my fate from birth to make my mark upon the earth.
Testing. Good morning. If everybody could start taking their seat, please.
Stargazer am I. It seems that I was born to chart the evening sky. They'd cut me out for baking bread, but I had other dreams instead. This baker's boy from the West Country would join the Royal Society. We are sailing to Philadelphia, a world away from the coldy tide. Sailing to Philadelphia to draw the line, the Mason-Dixon line. Now you're a good surveyor, Dixon, but I swear you'll make me mad. The West will kill us both, you gullible Geordie lad. You talk of liberty, how can America be free? A Geordie and a baker's boy in the forests of the Iroquois. Now hold your head up, Mason, see America lies there. The morning tide has raised the capes of Delaware. Come up and feel the sun. A new morning is begun. Another day will make it clear. The rock he stood upon is broken up and gone. Hey babe, who's your baby now? On the slick way of your dream stands someone else's scheme. Hey babe, who's your baby now? Baby now, baby now. We don't eat in no white restaurant. We're eating in a car. Bologna again. Bologna again. We don't sleep in no white hotel bed. We're sleeping in the car. Bologna again. You don't strut around in these country towns. You best stay in the car. Look on ahead, don't stare around. You best stay where you are. You're a long way from home. Don't push your luck too far. Bologna again. 22 years we've sung the word since 1931. Amen. Now the young folk want to praise the Lord with guitar, bass, and drums. Amen. Well, I'll never get tired of Jesus, but it's been a heavy load, carrying His precious love down a long dirt road. We're a long way from home. Just let's pay the man and go. Bologna again. The Lord is my shepherd, He leadeth me in pastures green. He gave us this day our daily bread and gasoline. Go under the willow, park her up beside the stream. Shoulders for pillows, lay down your head and dream. Shoulders for pillows, lay down your head and dream. Don't you love the sound of the last laugh, my friend? Don't you love the sound of the last laugh at the end?
down in the scuppers with the drunken sailors, down in the gutter with the mad old soldiers. But the last laugh, baby, is yours. And don't you love the sound of the last laugh going down? Games you thought you'd learn, you neither lost nor won.
Let me,
Like, I want to watch TV. I want to go to bed. How's it?
Please rise for the national anthem that will be performed by Jasmine Ruska, Reese Sheldall, and Devin Wonderwald.
Say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare bursting the air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Wow. Great job, you guys. Graduates, you may now be seated. Well done. How about that? Let's give them another round of applause. Welcome to the commencement ceremony for the class of 2020 of Capitol High School. My name is Brett Zanto, the principal of Capitol High, and I'd like to thank everyone for being here today to support these graduates. I would like to introduce the individuals who are here up front, fellow administrators, Mr. Walt Chauncey and Mrs. Kathy Kidder, school board members Luke Miskevich and Sarah Sullivan, our distinguished guest speaker today, Alex Papu Rincon, our superintendent, Dr. Tyler Ream, and assistant superintendent, Josh McKay. Also, I would like to acknowledge the efforts of Gina Fuller, Capitol High School office manager, for her efforts in putting this on today. I would like to take a few moments of silence to remember students in this class who could not be here today. Today is a great day. It is a time to celebrate and honor the accomplishments of the students seated here this morning. First off, how cool is it to be in the class of 2020? Wow. This past New Year's Eve, which I still can't believe that we've reached, how fast this year's gone by, I could not help but think that it seemed like just yesterday that it was New Year's Eve 1999, before you guys were around. Y2K. Concerns with computer crashing, digits that would not roll over, things were going to come to a standstill. It was going to be mass chaos. Wow, does this sound familiar? 2020. Did you know that back in the movie Back to the Future, when they jumped in that DeLorean, they traveled to the year 2015? That was 5 years ago. Technology. Over the past decade, Uber, Venmo, hey Alexa, AirPods, rise in social media, TikTok, VR headsets, virtual grocery shopping, bike sharing, and let's not forget about the Peloton, as well as those television commercials that go along with such products. This was activity over just the past few years. Therefore, to the class of 2020, just think, what will the next decade bring us? I'm not sure, but the answer to such a question must come from you. Over the last couple of years, and unfortunately not this year, Capitol High senior machining students have made parts for the stowage lockers that go up in space to the space station. Earlier this week, Mr. Weber informed me that NASA released information in the form of a picture to all of the NASA Hunch program participating schools across this country. The picture was of 4 storage lockers that went up last week with the Crew Dragon to the space station. While there is no way of knowing if the parts Capital High students have made in the past were actually part of the 4 lockers, as there were about 70 made across this country, just think that these were parts that were once housed at Capital High School. That's where we're at today, producing parts that are going into space. Not only are you the ones that can generate such ideas, yeah, that does deserve a hand, but you are the ones that have to learn to adapt, whether it is marketing your new business, how to find your next job, how to manage technology, or where to plant your roots. Speaking of adaptation, who would have thought that on that day, Friday, March 13th, all of you walked out of Capitol High for the last time? For those of you attending the state basketball tournament, it was even earlier. Teams meetings, Zoom meetings, Chromebooks, and that constant sound. I guess we could call it a ding of an incoming email, are the terms and sounds that have preoccupied our lives ever since. This shutdown has highlighted the importance of school and education. First off, I would like to thank the parents, guardians, and guests here today who helped support their student during the past 2 months. Great job in overcoming the amount of emails and trying to keep track of when to drop off items or when to pick up items. The amount of information has been overwhelming. I believe that during such remote learning, we have truly witnessed the importance of education as well as the importance of those individuals who work with your students each and every day. On behalf of the staff of Capital High School, students, I want you to know how much we have missed you each and every day. Such a shutdown revealed the importance of relationships, whether it be teacher to teacher, student to student, or student to teacher. Likewise, the importance of student clubs and activities cannot be overemphasized. It is hard to think about everything that was canceled and the impact that it's had on all of you. Social distancing works, but social isolationism doesn't always work well for humanity or education. We are currently undergoing a safety and security upgrade at Capital High School. Actually, the whole front office right now is being renovated, and as a result, office staff were moving all around the building. So my temporary office is now in that library conference room. And over the past few weeks, it has been unbelievable to see the amount of students showing up in caps, gowns, to get their pictures taken in front of Capital High School, whether it's a group picture, socially distanced nonetheless, or an individual picture, all taken right in front of the building. And such acts of display show the connection to Capital High School, your connection to staff, and your connection to other students, and the memories made while attending Capital High School. Seniors, no matter where you go after today, all of you share one common bond, and that is Capital High. Some of you will go far, some of you will remain near. And at various moments in your lifetime, you will think back on the events, the memories, the good times or bad times, found inside and outside the hallways of Capital High and of this, maybe not so normal ceremony today. You join a very proud collection of Capital High graduates. So to the Capital High class of 2020, way to adapt, way to keep pushing through these past 2 months, and job well done. It is now my pleasure to introduce our superintendent, Dr. Ream, to the podium for his welcome.
Greetings, Bruins. Happy Saturday morning to you. I started writing this, and I had to scratch out. I had originally written happy Saturday afternoon to you, but that changed, didn't it? So it's kind of like this journey to get here this morning. It was indeed, as your principal just mentioned, it was an odd one, but we're resilient. You stuck with it, and we're here this morning, right now, because of you and what you've accomplished. Earlier this week, when meteorologists warned that a start time anytime after 12 noon was going to be problematic, we made a decision. Because after all we have worked through, to get to this event, to get to this morning and this point in time, nothing will stop us from celebrating the class of 2020. That's right. Family members and guests, thank you for the honor that it is to work with your children, your graduates, every single day. Speaking on behalf of my colleagues here in the Helena Public Schools, please know that working with your children is one of the greatest joys in our lives. And to those colleagues, my colleagues joining us here this morning, they're around in the audience, they're around at the back, and they're at home watching. Thank you for your sacrifices. Thank you for your commitment. You continue to be an inspiration to me, especially during this time of crisis. Every day, I am fortunate to serve alongside you, and I want to say thank you. To our students, thank you and congratulations. When I think of the class of 2020, I will forever be reminded of your resilience. As Bruin graduates this year, to me, you are the definition of resilience. Very little of what we planned for you this spring was able to come to fruition, yet you remain resilient, and we have arrived together at this moment in time. Very few have ever endured a senior year like the class of 2020, but I believe that resilience will set you apart. Graduates, you didn't do this alone, and today I believe you have the responsibility to seek out those who supported you and say thank you. That is your responsibility. And I urge that you do not let this day pass without seeking those people out, many of them here today and many of them watching online. Find them however possible, even digitally, and let them share in this moment. Seniors, today you graduate as young adults into a world like none other. Oddly enough, the challenges that have faced us at this nation and world are foundational, as they actually provide each of us with unique opportunities to shape our collective future. Our nation is gripped with two concurrent pandemics. One is earth-shaking and viral in nature, but I believe that we will collectively overcome. The other is systemic and has caused pain for far too long. We have responsibilities in overcoming both, whether through social distancing or through social action. We all face actions that we must take in healing our nation and delivering on the promise of liberty and justice for all. You see, Bruins, you and I share a common bond in this regard. As a high school student, I grew up in Los Angeles, and I clearly remember one afternoon sitting on my back wall with my friends, watching the flames and smelling the smoke of the riots of 1992. I still remember the pain, I remember the anger, I remember the violence, and I remember the fear. But what I don't remember is what changed systemically to ensure that future generations were better as a result of our deliberate actions. Nearly 30 years later, I stand here convicted of simply not doing enough. This feeling of failure that I feel is not one that I want for you in your future. I let that smell of smoke drift to the back of my memories. I let the pain and injustice that I saw in the lives of loved ones numb and dissipate over time. I settled until smack. All of a sudden, I'm sitting on that back wall all over again. But let's be honest. Forward progress will involve more than words, emotions, speeches, or posts. We must come together in this time of pain and anger, sickness, and death to build the future that we want for our families, our community, our state, and for our nation. Seniors, these types of systemic, meaningful changes will take what I know that you have. It will take resilience. Real change rarely occurs in the span of weeks. It takes grit and determination, selflessness and humility, personal sacrifice and authentic collaboration. It takes lifetimes of dedicated collective work. But ironically, it starts with the same place for all of us. It starts from within. Graduates, I am proud of you, but as your neighbor and fellow citizen, know that graduation is not the end. And you know this already, don't you? You already know that graduation is actually a beginning. Class of 2020, your resilience in this achievement gives me great hope for our future because our world needs you. Thank you and congratulations, Class of 2020.
Now is the time to honor those students who have excelled academically during the past 4 years. So students, please stand when your name is called. First, our class of 2020 valedictorians. These are students that achieved a perfect GPA of a 4.0, the highest GPA in the class of 2020. Mikkel Kayleen Ballard. Leah Charlotte Baranek. Arlie Edwin Berner. Abigail Arlene Bibot. Anna Kendall Boughton. Emma Ruth Coble. Caleb Michael Crane. Jerry Lynn Cutler. Leah Bacchus Hohenlohe. Ryan Patrick Johnson. Ethan Zachary Kientz. Nikki Faith McMillan. Allison Renee McAllister. Margaret Elizabeth Bridget McGinley. Melissa Margaret Moraney. Rosalina Christina Angelina Ramirez. James Golden Rencher. Caroline Jane Southworth. Kaylin Elizabeth Tappy. Ryan Ida Thomas. McLean Renee Thornquist. And Zoe Elise Wall. Congratulations to all of our valedictorians. Next, we have our class of 2020 Capital High School salutatorians. These are students who received all A's and just one B over the past 4 years with this class of 2020. So our salutatorians, please stand when I read your name. Molly Rose Brandt. Caden Jacob Kraegel. Cy Maddox Miller. Eleanor Elizabeth Stifler. And Justin Keith Toffelmeyer. Congratulations to our salutatorians. Next, we have our class of 2020 Bear Award winners. This is actually the first year for this award. It used to be called the Full Bore. However, this class, with its increased need for credits in various areas in order to graduate, we decided we might as well revise such an honors designation as this. So the Bear Award stands for the Bruin Educational Achievement Recognition Award. It's awarded to graduating seniors who have achieved the following: taken 10 or more honors, advanced placement, and or accelerated credits, receiving a minimum of a B letter grade, earned at least 7 of the 10 credits in the following core academic areas: English, math, social studies, science, and foreign language. Taken all required classes necessary for graduation. They have to graduate with a minimum of 26 credits. At the time of graduation, have a minimum cumulative GPA of a 3.5, be involved in at least 2 school-related activities, and finally complete the application for the Bear Award in the fall of their senior year. So at this time, after I read your name, if you could please stand. Aiden Gustav Adamick. Sarah Christine Ashley. Mikkel Kayleen Ballard. Leah Charlotte Baranek. Gabrielle Elizabeth Jean Bacchus. Arlie Edwin Berner. Abigail Arlene Bibot. Anna Kendall Boughton. Molly Rose Brandt. Megan Faith Broussard. Nicholas Michael Bubb, Ziane Alexandra Cervantes, Emma Ruth Coble, Caden Jacob Kregel, Alex Connor Crisp, Jerry Lynn Cutler, Leah Bacchus Hohenlohe, Lillian Bell Hollabaugh, Caleb Michael Hoxie, Jasmine Elizabeth Ruska, Ryan Patrick Johnson, Ethan Zachary Kintz, Jasmine Maya Kunda, Jack William Cooney, Daniel Wyatt Leas, Emily Rebecca Lenore, Megan Elizabeth Logan, Allison Renee McAllister, Melissa Margaret Moraney, Seth Vincent Musil, Nicholas Dexter Daniel Mao, Blaze Lewis Murphy, Chase Michael Nielsen, Thomas Wayne Penley, Rosalina Christina Angelina Ramirez, Adrian Alexander Rincon Jimenez, Catherine Melissa Schaefer, Caroline Jane Southworth, Elena J. Steichen, Eleanor Elizabeth Stifler, Ryan Ida Thomas, Danielle Suzanne Teo King, Justin Keith Toffelmeyer, Joseph Bradley Wadhams, and Zoe Elise Wall. Let's give all of our Bear Award winners a hand. Congratulations to all of you. So now is the time for our student speaker address. Once again, we offered tryouts for students who were eligible to try out, and our panel of judges selected these four students to speak today. So Karina Frederick, Zoe Wall, Alex Crisp, and Thomas Penley.
As I was preparing for this speech, I was looking for a good hook for the beginning of this, but I soon realized nobody cares about a Gandhi quote I found on Google. To tell you all the truth, when I went to Reddit to do some research on people's opinions about graduation speeches, I found a lot of people complaining that graduation ceremonies were just for the popular kids and overachievers, and that it wasn't really worth their time. Although I respect the kids that strive for that 4.0, I'd like to recognize the kids that struggled to be here with us today. Throughout life, there were a lot of road bumps, some bigger than others, and when those road bumps hit earlier in your life, sometimes school gets put on the back burner. I applaud the people who push through hardships, whether it's mental illness, family problems, or even the fact that money is tight at home. You are all here with us today. Personally, I've had my own road bumps throughout my high school experience, but luckily, I've had the privilege of learning with the amazing teachers at Capitol High. Teachers like Miss Bosch, Saminsky, Urban, and many more have not only been great educators, but close friends. Whether it's a shoulder to cry on or a science question, they were always right there. Going forward, I'd like to address the fact that we have the world at our fingertips. With today's technology, we have the capability to program AI, clone sheep, and even have self-driving cars. But you know what we're really using that technology for? TikTok. I know we have the potential to do more. I'm excited to see what the future holds and what advancements our generation will bring. For those of you still in high school, remember that your education is an investment. We have more resources available than any other generation. Let's start to use them. As we each take the next step, I want everyone to remember the experience we shared together. Good times and bad. We managed to make it through some of the most formative years of our lives. Whatever comes next in life, I am confident that we'll make the best of the opportunities we encounter. Don't let life pass you by. All of us graduates have achieved something significant, and I am proud to be part of the 2020 Capital High School graduating class. Our class will go on to do great things. Already, we've overcome significant obstacles. Our class is boring during 9/11, grew up with a financial crisis, and now we're currently living in a pandemic. With odds stacked against us, we can survive through anything. Oh, and one last thing. Black Lives Matter.
Hello, class of 2020. We did it. Today is the day we've been preparing for in 13 years of schooling. Many of us still remember our first day of kindergarten and when nap time turned into an extra hour of math. We've seen a countless number of teachers who have changed our lives with their dedication and hard work, and we've been lucky enough to have friends and family who support us. And after today, it's our world to conquer. And we can ask, who are we, aside from having such an insane graduating year? While I was writing this speech, it was impossible to ignore the enormity of all of the events we are living through right now. It feels so easy to let everything we have lost define us, define our class and our time at Capitol High. But we can't let each other forget that the class of 2020 is defined as so many things. We are students, friends, athletes, musicians, and actors. We are scientists, debaters, and artists. We are failed snow day petitioners and accomplished procrastinators. Our class is filled to the brim with unique and distinct individuals. After today, I know each of us will go on to live completely different but nonetheless extraordinary lives, filled with remarkable memories, adventures, success, happiness, mistakes, and perseverance. But at the core of everything we are also human. And I know that sounds obvious, and you may be thinking, they put her up here to tell me that I'm a human? Seriously? But that simple word has so much more weight than we may usually consider. I've thought a lot recently about what it means to be human, and here's what I've decided. It means smiling and waving at each other in the hallways. It's the moment when our girls' volleyball team wins the state championship, and we rush to the court in a crowd of excitement. It's falling into passion for your role on the CHS or Grand Street Theater stage. It's practicing an instrument or sport you love until exhaustion and failing at something 9 times only to succeed on the 10th. It is good friendship and laughter late into the night. Being human is sacrificing our best senior memories in order to keep our neighbors, family, and friends safe. Like I've mentioned, we're all such a diverse group of people. But in my 4 years with you all, it makes me certain of our united trait of not only being humans, but being good humans. And I challenge each of my classmates to never forget to be a good human, although I have the strongest faith in us all. Follow your passions and work hard in all your endeavors, as I know you will. But also, stick your tongue out at babies in the grocery store and invite someone new to sit with you. Pay for someone's coffee in the Starbucks line and let cars merge into your lane when driving. Protect those who cannot protect themselves and let your voice speak for the few. Fully embrace the people you love and embrace the possibility to love all. Don't forget to fight for what you believe in and what's right, and to always choose to be kind. We all have so much power to be truly good. And when it all comes down to it, that is what leads us to a genuinely enriching life. But as for today, my fellow class of 2020, we are not only human, we are graduates. Congratulations.
Before I begin, I would like to say that this is the least form-fitting, least flattering, and least sparkly gown I have ever worn. I'm not mad, just disappointed. Anyway, friends, comrades, the three of you who were dueling in the parking lot, and graduates, I have a question for us. Who are we? I mean, we're not the prettiest grade or the smartest, no offense. We're not exactly revolutionary or trend-setting. Hell, we're not even the biggest or the smallest. We seem to be, by all measurable standards, just average, just normal. That is generalization talking, though. Things like Power School and College Board only show statistics and numbers about us. They don't show our souls. So, who are we? Well, I say we are more. I say we are a lot of the little things. Little things like Lauren Hansen and her excessively bright smile. Like Molly Brandt's patriarchy-crushing heeled black boots, and of course, like Levi Long's luscious golden locks of hair. We are the last class to remember the lead incident at CR, the last to take the ACT on paper, and probably the last to know what it was like to go to school without Chromebooks in every classroom. Chromebooks, side note, you can't play the T-Rex game on them, but you can search Nick Jonas and Calvin Klein underwear. Not that I did it that often over the past 5 years. It was our grade to have to be stuck with the 23 credits to graduate, the first to send an orchestra student to All Northwest, and the first to get to wear bandanas to graduation. Have a positive attitude. We're the kids who have been here since kindergarten, and we're the guy that showed up 356 days ago. See, Matt Wigton, I wasn't asking the exact date of when you came here to just be creepy. It was part of it, but it wasn't all of it. Now, normally at this point in the speech, I would just make a few more dirty jokes and challenge Arlie Berner to a push-up contest. But if I make too many dirty jokes, Miss Kidder will tackle me. And let's face it, he doesn't stand a chance anyway. But jokes aside, we need to remember what it was like to be just some average kid. We can go out and change things in the world. I know it's a cliche, but we can. And you can do that by just showing the world the same little bits of goodness that we are so good at. Show them the same kindness you showed the freshmen this year. The same modesty our volleyball players had, even though they were frickin' amazing. And the same acceptance you showed me freshman year when I came out as gay. It's that simple. So, go out there. Keep doing the little things. Smile. Ask how someone's day is, and actually care about the answer for once. Maybe do a few push-up contests along the way. Thank you.
When I was a freshman, all I ever wanted was for a senior to talk to me. If one did, it made my whole week. As cheesy as it sounds, it was true. I idolized them. They were the coolest people in the world to me simply because they were 3 years older than me. And now here we are. This time we are the seniors, and it is our graduation. The next few months will consist of us starting the next chapter of our lives. Whether it's playing sports at the next level, joining the military, going into the trades, or perhaps going to get a teaching degree. Whatever it is, this group will excel at it. That, my friends, is not going to be the challenge. The challenge will be to continue to stay involved. Don't get me wrong, Capitol High is a great school, but no one was going here for the academics. We were going to Capitol for football. We were going to Capitol for track. We were coming here for the cheer team. We were coming here for Special Olympics. We were coming here for DECA. We were coming here for BPA. We were coming here for student council. We were coming here to see a favorite teacher. We were coming here for the conversations. We were coming here to see our friends. We came here for the things that simply make life worth living. In simple words, our passions. I encourage each and every one of you to continue to follow whatever your passion is and see how much you can incorporate it into your daily life. The last thing a 17 or 18-year-old wants to hear is that he can't go out tonight, even though this time it was the governor saying it and not his parents. Although the whole world was in this together, there is a difference in coronavirus happening in your mid-40s and it happening during your senior spring. We got robbed. There's no other way to put it, and I want to apologize to all of you again for it. But we got through it, and hopefully we never have to endure something like it again. I'm just thankful I get to be here today to graduate with 260 of my best friends. It's crazy to think after 4 years, this will be the last time all of us will be together. But that's okay, because I've had an amazing time with all of you, and I hope you could say the same. I hope when you're in a dark place or in a time of sadness, you can cheer yourself up by thinking of some of the great memories you made at this place. And if that doesn't work, just remember I lost the student body president election to my ex-girlfriend's little brother. And maybe that will make you chuckle. I can't express how proud I am of each and every one of you. This group of people will always hold a special place in my heart. Thank you all so much for the best years of my life. So let's hear it one more time. Brew on 2, 1, 2.
Now is the time I was going to introduce our senior class president, Alex Crisp, to come back up to the stage to introduce our guest speaker today. So, Alex, I would like to say, though, thank you to our student speakers. There is no doubt we are in safe hands with students such as this and students as these seated in front of us today after hearing from students like that. So, Alex, go ahead.
I'm actually not the senior body president. We didn't have one this year. So this year's grad speaker, well, student council was given the job of finding a grad speaker. One simple rule: they had to graduate from Capital. Pretty hard to find, but we did get one. He graduated from Capital in '99. He is the owner of a company most known for bumper stickers on the back of Subarus. Please welcome the older brother of Adrian Rico Jimenez, Alex Jimenez, otherwise known as Papu.
Hello, everybody. My name is Alex Rincon, also named as Papu, and welcome, graduating class of 2020, the families, friends, faculty, staff, everyone that made this happen, and all of you watching at home in support of you and all of your accomplishments. I have to admit, when Alex called me, I had a little bit of a question for him as to why me. Even standing here today, I feel honored to be able to be up here and speak with you and celebrate with you and all of your accomplishments. But I have a little bit of imposter syndrome. Why me? I have a little secret for you guys. I have no idea what I'm doing. When I was a student at Capital, I was new to Helena. I moved here when I was in middle school and went to C.R. Anderson from Salt Lake City. Both of my parents are from Venezuela. And all of a sudden, here's this kid from the city coming in the middle of winter to CR. I looked different, I dressed different, I spoke different, and it was really scary. There were a few people who met me with open arms and interest into what made us different from one another, and there were others who were terrified that I was different than them, and they rejected me. I experienced stereotypes, racism, you name it. Entered Capital High School as a freshman, and it was kind of a new beginning. I was able to reestablish who I was and who I spoke with, and all of these other people all of a sudden were mingling and making more decisions for themselves. And it turned from a conflict where people were scared of me and more of an interest into, we are all here together, we're in this together, and it was a path. The path was high school, and we were all on the same path. We can change, what classes we take, who we eat lunch with, but we all had the same destination. We all wanted to graduate. We wanted to contribute to this world in some way, shape, or form. Through school, I experienced a lot of little cliques. There were, the skateboarders and the musicians and the mathletes and the debate team. There were the athletes. There were the rodeo stars. And I didn't know where I fit into that. I had other friends that felt the same way. And so my friend Dave Morin and I started a group or a radio show called the Davey and Papu Show. And our whole objective was to highlight the people who weren't kind of the ideal student that was always recognized by, the school itself. So our radio shows would interrupt the morning classrooms, which the students loved, most teachers did not. And we would highlight the kid that, went and shot an amazing archery round, the kid that was winning ski races, the kid that landed a cool trick on a skateboard or BMX bike, the person that built a tree house without any carpentry skills, and it was awesome, and we got to celebrate it. We'd highlight all these people alongside the students who were, getting the good grades and, making the touchdowns during the school games like Crosstown. That radio show and all of our friends broke down barriers. All of a sudden, whenever someone would have a barbecue or we'd have a meetup at the park, it wasn't just one clique, it was everyone. Everyone would show up, everyone would give hugs and high fives, because we realized that there's more that bonds us together and our differences than that should tear us apart. That kind of set the stage for me as my adult life. As Alex mentioned, and Dr. Santos mentioned, we celebrated our graduation during 1999. And the biggest fear there was Y2K and, a code that was going to make the economy crash because it was turning to 00 instead of 99. That is kid league compared to what you guys are going through right now. And back then, we were scared. We were scared because all of a sudden, we'd taken this little path and we reached the summit. We were graduating. And then all of a sudden, we're standing there and saying, what next? I've asked myself that question every single day since graduation. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I wanted to snowboard because that was my passion and still is my passion. And my father begged me to at least give school a year. And if I didn't like it, then I could, walk the earth and figure out what I wanted to do with my life. So I ended up actually coming here to Carroll College. And another chapter happened in my life, which was really similar to my freshman year at Capitol. However, now I'm an adult, quote, air quote, adult. I had to work. I was paying for my own bills, for my own books. They're not cheap. I wanted to, go and hang out in the sunshine when it was nice and go play in the snow when it snowed, not go to class, not go to lectures. But throughout it all, I took that opportunity. That's what it is, an opportunity to learn, to grow, and to apply. After I graduated, I had the same exact realization. I have no idea what I'm doing with my life. I worked some random jobs for a few years and eventually sat down and said, what is it that I want to do with my life? I want to bring people together. I want to celebrate the differences in people, and I want to celebrate this community and this great state that we get to call home. We are the lucky ones to be here right now. The world is a mess. There's a global pandemic. There's killer giant wasps. There's inequality on so many different levels. Before any of this, there were heavy issues with mental health and suicide. I can't even mention how it makes me feel, but the divide between people because of the color of their skin or their sexual orientation or how they identify themselves. These divides can't happen moving forward. And this right here, this world that we're living in, it's not a roadblock, it's an opportunity. We are the lucky ones, and your class is the lucky ones, where even though you're spaced so far apart from your classmates, we're here together. You get to celebrate your hard work, and you get to celebrate reaching that summit, and air hug each other, hopefully, in social distancing. But it's an opportunity for the next chapter that you choose to write. So as the guest speaker, typically they talk about how cool they are, all the money they've made, their fancy cars, but this isn't about me. I don't have any of those things. And this, truthfully, today is not about me. It's about you. So what I want to do, though, is take this opportunity to give you a few words of advice, things that I live by and things that have shaped my life with 406. When I started it back in 2007, the world was in a place that they'd give a 26-year-old kid at the time had a business plan, a bank loan, and let them sign a lease to commercial property to do something that didn't exist. At the time, everyone called it 406 because they didn't know what 406 meant. They didn't like the name. And it was kind of a trick to convince people that it could be something. The thing is that was my idea, to try and get something that united everyone together and kind of try to put a name into the pride that we have in growing up in Montana, in relocating to Montana, in going to schools like Capitol High School and making the friendships that we have. We are the lucky ones. That was just an idea. That idea only grew because of your support and the community support. All those Subarus, Alex, that have the bumper sticker, they're saying, I get it. If you've ever come to the store and been to a concert or an art show to celebrate your friends, if you've ever worked there, which some of you I know have, if you've ever walked by and just wondered what it is, some of you I may not know, but I need you to know that I'm proud of you right now. I'm thankful for your support, even if not with 406, with being a member of the Helena community and making this place an amazing place to live. So here's a couple of words that I'll leave you with. And they sound really, the 101 of life. But one of them is choose love. Love each other. Love yourselves. Love the place that you live. Be kind to one another. Also be kind to yourselves. When you're doing something that, deserves a pat on the back and an applause, and the times that you're fallen and you don't know how to get up. Be kind to yourself. Support one another. As I mentioned with 406, it's just an idea, and without people supporting you, that's all it would be. It would be some scribbles on a piece of paper. But with support, you can build, and you can motivate each other, and you can collaborate with one another, and you can use your individuality and your skill set to make this world a better place. Choose who you want to be every day. It's a choice. You can choose who you live this life with, where you live this life, what you choose to do. It's a choice every single day. Be who you want to be. Whether it be through higher education after you graduate, or going into the workforce, or going into the military, or taking, a summer off with a van and camping down by the river, whatever it may be a lifelong learner. Never stop learning. Never stop applying, all the knowledge that this world has to offer and all the technology that we have at our fingertips to learn and grow as individuals. You can change the world. I'd like to ask two things of you. Without addressing each of the crazy things that are happening in the world right now, I'd like you to think for a moment and feel how you have been over the last few months. The frustration, the confusion, the anger, the helplessness, the happiness, the pride that you have sitting here right now and thinking back on the last 4 years of this path. Not everyone made it here, but you have. So I'd like to take a moment of silence to all of those who have lost a loved one, to all of those who have lost their employment, all of those who aren't able to be here with us right now, all of those who are marching for the freedom and equality as a human race. I'd like you to take a moment with me in silence. Now I'd like to ask one more thing, one very last thing of you guys. I'd like you to take all of that energy, all of that hurt, all of that love, all of that excitement, all of the feelings that maybe we can't even put words to that you may be feeling right now. And I want you to let it out. I know that we did the, Howls for Helena. We're Bruins. I'm an old Bruin because I graduated in '99, but I'm still a Bruin. And I want to let you guys express yourselves. I want to hear your roar. And I want Helena to hear you. And I want all of those tuning in online around the world to hear you right now. Can you do that with me? Ah! No, that's not good enough. I don't think Helena heard you. Maybe the fairgrounds heard you, but I don't think Helena heard you. Can you do it one more time for me, please? Ah! Congratulations to each and every one of you. Even those I don't know, I am so proud of you. My brother Adrian, I am so proud of you, and I know I'm biased because you're my brother, but he knows how hard it has been to be here right now. Just like each and every one of you, it's not just about the academics, it's about the whole high school experience, and now you get to apply that to the next chapter of your lives. I'll leave you with a cliche quote. I don't even know who wrote it, but choose the life you love and love the life you live. Thank you.
All right, next. Now is the time for the reading of our class roll. So valedictorians have been split up as far as the last names. Graduates, please be sure to have your mask on as you come up on stage. When you walk across the stage, make sure that you grab a diploma cover, and then as you go down the exit, you can go ahead and take your mask off briefly for a picture. So at this time, if our first valedictorian could come up to start. Also, please do not forget to bring your card up with you, as our speakers will be right here on the this other podium. You will hand your card, and please make sure that you do not walk across this stage until your name is read. Thank you. Okay, first row.
Aiden Gustav Adamick. Abraham Michael Allen. Ethan Jeffrey Allen. Zachary Tyler Allen. Jarrett Jimmy Alm. Lane Payton Antonick. Lauren Nicole Archie. Sarah Christine Ashley. Ezekiel Castellano Ayala. Kayleen Ballard. Leah Charlotte Baranek. Alexander Thomas Barker.
Jacob Michael Bartow. Gabrielle Elizabeth Jean Bacchus. Ethan J. Dale Becker. Austin Jeremiah Bell. Luke Francis Bender. Michael Joe Anthony Bendinelli. Arlie Edwin Berner. Abigail Arlene Bibot. Tamer Timothy Billman. Patrick David Blankenship. Ariel Ray Blessing. Mariah May Bogey. Anna Kendall Boughton. Celestine Lazone Bowers. Noah David Braden. Fatima Marlene Bradford. Molly Rose Brandt. Wade August Bratlin. Olivia Lynn Bratton. Megan Faith Broussard.
Nicholas Michael Bubb. Jaden Taylor Buchanan. Kyler Michael Buckley. Mason Ray Burchell. Caroline Joelle Burke. Chaz Mitchell Purrington Bushnell. William Zachary Butler. Dominic Tate Caldwell. Caitlin Nicole Campbell. Kyler Lucas Campbell. Marston Toon Carpenter. Sophia Rose Carson. Leah May Carter. Mason Austin Casagrande. Kaylin Patrick Casey. Ziane Alexandra Cervantes. Lane Dewey Chapman. Sloan Lena Chapman.
Cecilia Rose Clark. Miles Joseph Clark. Emma Ruth Coble. Joshua Charles Collins. Carter Blake Conrad. Caden Jacob Craigle. Caleb Michael Crane. Alex Connor Crisp. Tristan M. Crocker. Ashton Garrett Cross. Caden Michael Culp.
Catherine Ann Coulpon. Jerry Lynn Cutler. Madison Marie Davis. Aspen Michaela Dean. Madison Shea DePhillips. Seraphia Rosella Angel Dickinson. Kennedy Sky Dorrington. Laredo Renee Dreisen. Drianna Esther Marie Duncan. Trayton Samuel Duty. Tegan Marie Liliana Evelyn. Joseph Anthony David Edwards. Caitlin Alexis Renee Edwards.
Blaine Matthew Elke. Olivia Jakira Elder. Samantha Jade Elkins. Brady Thomas Ferrier. Isaiah James Fair. Lydia Marie Fife. Caitlin Sue Fladland. Karina Coe Frederick. Tizer Michael Furlong. Kaylin Elaine Gardner. Sarah Louise Giesling. Maya Eva Geyer. Sydney Lee Gibson.
Nathan Don Gilbert Dominguez. Hunter Jason Ryan Gillum. Elena Ann Marie Gonzalez. Austin Wade Gransberry. Mackenzie Brooke Grimace. Bridger Grayson Grovum. Anthony Wayne Guccione. Edison Eleanor Hahn. Shane Robert Haller. JC Taylor Hamlin. Erica Nicole Hamper. Isabella Serene Hansen.
David Brian Hansen. Kylie Bryn Hansen. Lauren Danielle Hansen. Mason Ray Harmon. Matthew Donald Hartman. Brenna Colleen Hash. Justin Jagger Hatzenbuehler. Ethan Thomas Hayes. Brittany Rebecca Henson. Alexis Jade Hernandez. Evan Mitchell Hines. Leah Backus Hohenlohe. Lillian Bell Hollabaugh.
Ella Dawn House. Caleb Michael Hoxie. Jasmine Elizabeth Hruska. Morgan Emily Hutchinson. Jade Kimber Hyde. Maria Beatriz Amata. Sophia Rose Ingolia. Clint Brian Inman. Dylan James Jutkowski. Weston Thomas Jutkowski. Taylor Ann Jenks. Emily Elizabeth Johnson.
Joshua Michael Johnson. Ryan Patrick Johnson. Parker James Johnston. Avery Rain Jones. Bryson William Jones. Anna Taylor Justice. Ethan Zachary Kientz. Anna Frances Cairns. Austin Robert King. Colby Scott Klungland. Jasmine Mia Kunda. Jack William Cooney.
Taylor Jessica Kuntz. Colton Edward Kyler. Alec Nicholas Lattis. Kendall Melissa Lane. Jacob Fraser Larson. Anthony Thomas Latka. Michaela Marie Lawrence. Daniel Wyatt Lease. Selena Lee. Alicia Ray Ledoux. Joshua Paul Lee. Zoe Jeanette Lehrkamp. Emily Rebecca Lenoir.
Jonah Evan Loberg. Catherine Lynn Lobel. Megan Elizabeth Logan. Levi Samuel Beadle Long. Morgan Ashley Lowry. Nikki Faith McMillan. Dylan Alexander Marks. Caitlin Rita Elizabeth Martin. Reagan Elaine Martin. Madison Paige Martini. Allison Renee McAllister. Willa May McArdle. Nadria Beth McCormick.
Zane Paul McCormick. Brandon Ray McDuffie. Quentin James McKelvin. Margaret Elizabeth Bridget McGinley. Alexis Grace McGrath. Allie Elizabeth McMillan. Okay. Brandon Andrew McMillan. Caleb Wayne Metzger.
Christopher Ernesto Meza. McKinley Ann Mahelish. Cy Maddox Miller. Dylan Wade Miller. Ashlyn Rose Moran. Melissa Margaret Moraney.
Seth Vincent Moosel. Nicholas Dexter Daniel Mao. Caleb Mark Munt. Blaze Lewis Murphy. Maya Lynn Nettleton. Chase Michael Nielsen. Kenneth Lucas Knoll. Thomas Monroe Norris. Jessica Ann Nunez. Kyler Shane O'Connell. Michaela Marie O'Malley. Mariah Fawn Oates. Lucas Dre Olson.
Abigail Lee Olson. Clancy Sarah Olson. Nevin Michael Olson. Violet Heaven Opitz. Monty Benjamin Pearson. Thomas Wayne Penley. Kaylin Grace Perigo. Jordan McKenna Perry. Melody Ray Perry. Kirsten Leanne Peters. Reese Matthew Phillips. Shaylee Abigail Pearson.
Mackenzie Darlene Juanita Poteet. Chastity Joy Purvis. Ryan Dennis Quinn. Rosalina Christina Angelina Ramirez. Larissa May Rebo. James Golden Rencher. Matthew Keel Richards. Ariana Isabella Rose Ridlin. Rhea Hastings Reiki. Adrian Alexander Rincon Jimenez. Ezra Gabriel Rojas. Matthew Marcus Romano. McKenna Rose. Ronald Robert Rosenthal.
Maximus Monroe Russell. Mackenzie Alana Sanders. Zachary James Sanders. Kale Joseph Sassano. Zachary Arthur Sauer. Brecken Oliver Schultz. Madeline Sage Schnackenberg. Peyton David Schuma. Olivia Sinclair Scott. Caden Michael Sell. Samantha Jean Settle. Catherine Melissa Schaefer.
Mackenzie Creed Schumann. Nikki Lee Sims. Mason William Skanes. Brandon Jeffrey Allen Smith. Jake Lamar Slagle. Hi, you look so cute. Haven K. Regina Louise Soria. Tristan K. Soul. Caroline Jane Southworth. Caden Samuel Sova. Caleb John Spencer. Thomas Isaac Stanger. Alina J. Steichen. Elise Jean Stelter.
Eleanor Elizabeth Stifler. Derek Jacob Strobel. Trevor Daniel Swanson. Rigby James Swant. Lily Judith Swenson. Kaylin Elizabeth Tapper. Grace Ann Taylor. Eliza Ruth Thomas. Alex Benjamin Thompson. Cody James Thompson. Kyler Douglas Thompson. McLean Renee Thornquist.
Danielle Suzanne Tielking. Tyler Christopher Tobel. Justin Keith Toffelmeyer. Jacob Brian Torgerson. Jaden Michael Triplett. Fallon Maiha Turner. Grace Rhiannon Vale. Addison Riley Van Lucian. Joseph Bradley Wadhams. Zoe Alice Wall. Richard Jacob Wallace. Clayton Henry Weber. Kaya Danae White. Seamus Daniel White. Robert Matthew Wigton. Andrew Dale Williams. Jessica Rose Williams. Dakota Jean Wilmot. Gabriel James Witham. Elise Nicole Wolf. Dalton Zane Woods. Devin Noel Wonderwald. Julia Patrice Young.
I'd call this pretty good timing. So at this time, while we're waiting for a few individuals to get their pictures taken and for the rest of the graduates to take their seats, let's have everybody stand, and I want you to turn, and I want you to wave to your guests here today. Yell at them, point at them, wave at them, and thank them for their support. And please remember this COVID class of 2020, the COVID cap toss. So please just remember, just keep it right in your area. That way you can keep it with you. We're not there yet. Hold on, hold on. So at this time, before the conferring of the diplomas, I would like to participate in the turning of the tassel, symbolizing your transition from candidate to graduate. So please move your tassel from right to left. And on behalf of the school board of the Helena School District Number 1, I declare the class of 2020 graduated. All right, so students, please remember, first row, we're going to exit out the side and up the ramp and out the gate over there. So this first row over on this side, last name A, please make sure and start heading out towards the exit. First row, please. Guests, in order to exit safely and in accordance with required safety precautions, we ask that you remain seated until your section is dismissed. We'll begin with section A over on this far side, beginning with the bottom rows and then moving up to the top rows. After that, then we'll move to section B. Once you exit, please proceed immediately to your vehicle without any gathering. Thank you again for attending our graduation ceremony for the Capitol High class of 2020.
Older than the trees, younger than